Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on OSHA's Safe and Sound campaign. My name is Annette Olison, and I am a Safety and Health Occupational Specialist with the Pennsylvania OSHA Consultation Program. I am a certified industrial hygienist and a certified instructional trainer. I have been with the program since 1997. Previous to working for the OSHA Consultation Program, I have worked in construction, refineries, manufacturing, and also pharmaceutical industries. So for today's webinar, I'll be presenting a PowerPoint presentation, and if there are questions during the webinar, we will be monitoring the chat. So you can put a question in there, and if there is a question that we cannot answer immediately, then we will post the answer on our website within 7 days of the webinar. So for today's webinar, our agenda, we will discuss a little bit on the focus of the campaign, components of the campaign, which includes management leadership, worker participation, and a section on finding and fixing hazards. These tools are available on the OSHA website, and the link to get to them is listed right there on the screen. So the Safe and Sound campaign occurs during the week of August 7th through the 13th. It is a nationwide event and it occurs every August. So the whole focus of the campaign is to help companies get a safety and health program started, energize an existing one, and it can also provide a chance to recognize your safety successes. Last year, there were more than 3,300 businesses that helped to raise awareness about workers' health and safety. So we're excited about the Safe and Sound Week, and to get excited, we want to maybe develop your program. We have challenges built in that you can participate in, and also there is a step-by-step guide on how to implement and put a safety and health program together for your company. So what's it about? Actually, it is not just during that week in August. It is really a year-round program to encourage every workplace to put a safety and health program together. And this the program will be utilizing management leadership, worker participation, and there's also a section on finding and fixing hazards. So there is a robust toolbox available on the OSHA website, and that toolbox consists of challenges, worksheets, and other activities to participate in, and then there are also resources to read and use as a guide to implement key components of your program. So under the management leadership section, we want to promote and get commitment from top management to implementing a program and use it to drive continuous improvement in safety and health. So this commitment can be demonstrated in many different ways. And this commitment can include developing and communicating a safety and health policy statement, providing the resources needed to implement and operate the program, factoring safety and health into operational planning and decisions, implementing a budget for safety and health within the company, recognize or rewarding safety and health contributions and achievements that may be focusing on employees that may show a stronger commitment to the safety and health program, leading by example, by practicing safe behaviors and making safety part of daily conversations with employees. So, for example, when management walks on the plant floor or the workspace floor, that person, if PPE is required, they have all their appropriate PPE on, and they're actually focused on an exchange with employees on how they are feeling with their regarding their safety and health. So management leadership can take, we have 3 challenges there. So the first one is take 3 in 30. And what that is management would take 3 actions in 30 days and share it with the workplace. So for example, management commits to being present for at least 3 meetings, safety meetings in 1 month. Also, sharing safety in company newsletters as far as how the company is doing on their safety efforts. So the next one is lead with safety. So a challenge would be to identify a safety and health issue and take steps to address it. So for example, if you have a workspace where employees are not wearing their safety glasses, management would, a commitment would be to survey employees to determine the roadblocks for them to not wear safety glasses, and then implement ways to remove those roadblocks. So for example, maybe it's to provide more comfortable and better fitting glasses for employees. The last one there is you want to recognize your safety champions. So you could have employees, managers, supervisors who go the extra step in regards to their safety efforts. Might be, always trying to participate in safety inspections or be an active member on a safety committee. So you want to recognize those employees or managers or supervisors and maybe have a special parking spot for those particular people. Management leadership, also we have worksheets and activities. So one activity is we want to be building a case for safety. So you might want to form a small team to actually form your safety and health program. You want to also have the team assess the reasons the business would need a safety and health program. Develop a company policy. Within the OSHA website, there are example questions and language to help companies write that policy. And make a management pledge. Examples of pledges might be have a visible presence in the workplace to conduct regular safety walkthroughs, make worker safety and health a core value, and focus on how safety can impact employees or management personally. Resources available under management leadership would be, there's a PDF document that talks about management leadership as part of Safe and Sound Week. There's also a document on how to make safety personal if management needs assistance with that, how to conduct safety walkarounds for managers. There's also an excellent training program called Foundations of Safety, which focuses on how management can approach employees with the safety situation and how they can resolve safety and health issues or hazards within the workplace. And then the last one there is an article from Safety and Health, which talks about speaking of safety, how managers can approach employees and have discussions with them about safety. Under the worker participation section, so we know that workers often know the most about potential hazards associated with their jobs. When they're involved in finding solutions, they feel invested in the program. Getting workers to speak up about those hazards and have a very two-way conversation with management about identifying and controlling these hazards. So workers can participate in many ways. So it would be possibly developing the initial program design, reporting incidences, including near misses, so they can be investigated, analyzing hazards associated with routine and non-routine jobs, tasks, and processes, defining and documenting safe work practices, conducting site inspections and incident investigations, training current coworkers and new hires, possibly a mentoring program, evaluating program performance and identifying ways to improve it. So challenges under workplace, under worker participation, we have two listed there. The one is called all in on safety, and the other one is Speak Up for Safety. So there's a short video here on the 5-worker lunch that I'll show you. And this is a way to get workers to sit down in a very informal group setting to actually get feedback from workers on how they're feeling about their safety. There's a screenshot there also of a safety observation report and checklist that can be used for employees to, again, communicate to management on how they are feeling about their safety. So I'm going to start the video.
The 5-worker lunch is a valuable opportunity to connect with trade workers, get direct feedback from the field, and share ideas to make our project safer. Here's how it works. At least once a month, a Turner facilitator invites a group of frontline trade workers to an informal lunch. So they feel comfortable speaking candidly, the group should not include their foremen or superintendents. The Turner facilitator starts a conversation on a major topic and takes notes on any action items or items of interest that come up. Again, to encourage a forthright atmosphere, Turner should keep any notes or minutes anonymous when communicating them to the broader team. Some examples of conversation starters for a 5-worker lunch are, when it comes to safety on site, what's working and what's not? Do you feel most workers look out for each other on the project? Do you feel comfortable giving other workers safety-related feedback? Build relationships and trust with trade workers, get the inside scoop on safety from the field, and work together to improve the project environment. That's the 5-worker lunch.
So that's a very effective tool to get feedback from directly from the employees. So also reviewing safety reports with the team, for example, any inspections, near miss reports, and again, the safety observation report that you see there on the screen. So some worksheets and other activities available under worker participation would be to make worker participation part of the company policy. That policy statement comes from management, but we always want to make sure that there's a component for worker participation. Inform workers of their rights and identify how and when you will inform them. There's also a safety climate assessment tool developed by CPWR, that's the Center to Protect Workers' Rights, and that is available on the OSHA website, and it is free of charge. Some testimonials from 2 companies that have used the tools there's a medium-sized general contractor, and then also I've included a small specialty subcontractor from Indiana. So the testimonials, the first one there is there's a description where the assessment tool was an excellent opportunity for us to really dive into safety perceptions across our organizational levels and determine improvement opportunities that may not have been identifiable prior to the survey. We learned that although we thought we were rewarding safe behaviors, we have an opportunity to better recognize team members for doing the right thing. We selected some of the great safety management resources from the large repository and will be developing action plans to implement them and then conduct a 12-month assessment of the same groups to determine if items implemented improve our safety climate. So the next one there's from a small specialty subcontractor who stated, "This is a great resource and I hope it stays available with even more to come. I can see us using this ongoing in the future. I've told peers about it and will continue to do so." So this is a great tool to see where you are as far as if you have a program already, how you are doing with your program and where your improvements can be implemented. There are also 2 videos available that gives you an overview of the tool and how to use it. So resources available under worker participation. There's a PDF document on the Safe and Sound at Work section for worker participation. There's also a document on heart safety in the heat, and a document that addresses making safety personal. And there's also a document, a PDF on how to have better safety conversations. I've personally used this myself, and it's very effective. And then the last one there is a webinar that you can review on employee perception surveys. So under the find and fix section, so at the core of every effective safety and health program should be a systematic process for identifying and controlling workplace hazards. So we want to find and fix them. The traditional approaches to this are finding and fixing hazards are often reactive. We want to focus more on being proactive. So being ahead of the game, where we want to find these hazards and put controls in place before an injury or illness can occur. A systematic find and fix approach would mean involving workers who often have the best understanding of the conditions that create hazards and insights into how to control them, review all available information about the hazards that might be present, conducting inspections to identify new or emerging hazards, investigating incidences to identify root causes and potential solutions, evaluating options using the hierarchy of controls, which we will talk about in a minute, considering how to protect workers during emergencies and non-routine activities, and checking that existing controls are intact and remain effective. So under the challenges for the find and fix hazards is we have a check on safety, we have eyes on safety, and we also have something called halt a hazard. So under check on safety, what we want to do is we want to identify where the hazards are. We can do this by conducting inspections or reviewing injury logs. We want to involve workers by establishing ways to report hazards. We want to plan to control hazards, and we want to make sure the controls are permanent and effective. So the challenge on the eyes on safety is to conduct workplace inspections on a regular basis and follow up on what you find and make sure that those items are addressed. The last one there, halt a hazard. We might want to brainstorm one hazard to control, identify a control using our hierarchy of controls, which you can see a little diagram there on the screen. Our highest level of control is elimination. The next one down is substitution. And then we have our engineering controls where we actually isolate the hazard. We have administrative controls, which might be we change the way people work. And the lowest level of control is our PPE, because although we have our PPE on, the hazard is still there. So we call it our lowest level of control. So worksheets and other activities to participate in is to involve workers in hazard identification. So one activity would be possibly to draw a large outline sketch of a person on a butcher paper or a whiteboard, include the front, side, and back side, and ask workers to identify the parts of body that have been or could be injured or stressed by their job by placing a dot on the drawing. They should include things that have happened or might happen to them when something goes wrong on the job. Record what workers have identified, meaning what body part they identify, the hazard, the activity involved, the work area, or the location. Also, review other sources of hazard information. You might want to use your safety data sheets or your injury and near miss reporting documents. And there's also an employer checklist for heat illness prevention. Under resources for find and fix hazards, we have a PDF document that describes this section under the safe and sound at work. And we also have a document on that was no accident, use how to use your OSHA log 300 log to improve safety and health. And there's also one on walkarounds for safety officers. So describes how that should be done. And then also there's an article on the 7 most common workplace safety hazards that can be reviewed. Another tool available, which is very effective, is OSHA has a hazard identification tool that can be used. So this is an interactive online game-based training tool for small business owners, workers, and others interested in learning the core concept of hazard identification. So this tool is intended to teach small business owners and their workers the process for finding hazards in their workplace. It raises awareness on the types of information and resources about workplace hazards available on the OSHA website. So there's a screenshot there of the tool. So we have different business sectors. We have construction, an emergency room, and the manufacturing sectors. So interactive would be you click on the particular business sector you're in, and then hazards would come up, and basically you point to them and identify them, and there's a scoring system within the tool itself. Very excellent. And then the last thing here, just to sort of sum everything up, I'd like to show a MicroLearning video. And this is, again, available on the OSHA website. And this video focuses on employee participation in hazard identification. So this is something that can be reviewed by management or by employees or possibly your safety committee to show them how employee participation should be used to identify hazards.
Employee participation in hazard identification, developed for OSHA Safe and Sound Week. Are you ready to move safety and health in your workplace forward? Small steps can lead to big changes. Effective safety and health programs tap into workers' collective experience, knowledge, and insight in order to find solutions to workplace safety and health challenges. Worker participation is key for hazard detection activities, as workers are best positioned to identify safety and health concerns and program shortcomings. Management should create a positive environment that encourages all workers to participate in hazard identification activities. For instance, management should empower workers to initiate or request a temporary shutdown of any work activity or operation they believe to be unsafe. Encouraging participation will also raise worker awareness of potential hazards in the workplace and demonstrate management's commitment to safety. A good way to involve your workers is to establish a safety committee that is made up of individuals who perform different work tasks, as they understand different parts of the operation and can conduct inspections based on their knowledge and experience. You could also collaboratively develop daily or weekly checklists for things common in their work area, like hand tools, housekeeping, workstation maintenance, and proper labeling. Consider using a suggestion box for the submission of anonymous tips. In order to show progress, management should promptly acknowledge receipt of workers' input and provide feedback on how and when a hazard will be corrected. Over time, this will build trust with your employees and lead to them feeling more comfortable reporting hazards. Workers should feel comfortable communicating hazards in the workplace. Management should emphasize that workers' input would only be used to improve workplace safety and health, and that no one will be punished for raising safety concerns. Any potential barriers or obstacles to participation in the program, such as fear of retaliation, skill level, education, language, or lack of information, should be removed. Organizational policies and practices that include negative consequences to workers for their involvement in the program can discourage participation and should not exist. For instance, if a worker stops work activity because of a loose machine guard, supervisors should not take away a performance bonus based on this lost productivity. In addition, to encourage participation, workers should be rewarded for working safely. Now, let's walk through an example. A worker is conducting a daily inspection of their work area and notices a section of flooring is damaged due to a dropped object. They log the hazard in the tracking system, and responsibility is assigned to maintenance, who deploy temporary barriers to prevent someone from tripping, repairs the flooring, documents the actions, and closes the hazards as corrected with a completed date in the workplace tracking system. The safety committee then talks with workers in the area to find out how to improve work processes and controls to prevent dropped objects in the future. In addition, at the monthly safety meeting, the employee who notified the employer of the problem was given a Safe Employee of the Month award, which is given monthly as an incentive to have employees report hazards. This example illustrates an effective use of worker participation, a hazard correction tracking procedure, and hazard control surveillance. Workers' participation in hazard identification activities will promote the proactive recognition of hazards before they result in an injury or illness. Check to see if workers are actively participating in hazard detection activities in your workplace by asking managers, supervisors, or workers to identify who conducts inspections. Or you can ask workers to share how they have participated in hazard identification activities, such as reporting a hazard in the last year. Give it a try at your workplace and improve your safety and health program today.
Okay, so just to sum everything up, please join businesses around the country in pledging your commitment to workplace safety and health. You can take the pledge using this link here on the screen. So Safe and Sound Week is a time to take action and reflect and recognize the efforts you have made to improve workplace safety and health throughout the year. This year, we are asking you to reaffirm your commitment to safety and health, including making safety a core value and taking action to improve your safety and health program during Safe and Sound Week by taking the Safe and Sound Week pledge. Just a little bit about the Pennsylvania OSHA consultation program. You see on the screen there is a screenshot of our webpage. So in order to request our services, it's a free program offered to small employers in the state of Pennsylvania, and small can be less than 250 at this one site or less than 500 nationwide. So in order to request a consultation visit, you can use the website webpage, and then there's a pull down bar. You can see there's a request form. You click on that, you complete the form, it gets submitted to the university, and then one or two consultants are assigned, and that consultant will reach out directly to you to schedule a visit. We also have a YouTube page that you can subscribe to that will show different videos. There's also all the previous webinars that we have held are also available on the page. So again, my name is Annette Olison, and my email is aolison@iup.edu. And we also have a 1-800 number. The website is listed there. There's a Facebook page that we have and a Twitter account. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining the webinar, and I hope you have a successful, safe and sound week, and can either recognize or improve your existing programs. Our upcoming webinar is on July 19th at 10:30, and it is on mental wellness and the impact on employee safety.